Disasters can strike without warning, whether natural or man-made, turning everyday life upside down in an instant. The key to facing these challenges? Being well prepared with the right gear and gadgets that keep you safe, connected, and self-reliant. So, in this video, we covered 10 essential Doomsday survival tools every prepper needs to tackle any crisis head-on. Updated price and purchase links are provided in the video description for your convenience. Enjoy! Let's be honest, when everything goes south, running water from the tap isn't going to stick around. That's just not realistic when you're bugging out or staying off-grid for a while. That's where a tool like the LifeStraw Peak series earns its spot. But hey, it's not perfect either. At first glance, it looks like just another slim plastic tube. Kinda underwhelming, honestly. But the real value shows when you're staring at a muddy stream or a questionable puddle, and you've got no other options. This thing's designed to make even sketchy water safe enough to drink, filtering out bacteria, parasites, and microplastics. One of the better things is that it doesn't rely on batteries or any moving parts. You just sip through it, or attach it to a bottle if that's easier. It's incredibly lightweight and simple to use, and it'll keep filtering water for years. But the one drawback? It won't handle viruses. That's kind of a letdown if you're prepping for everything, especially if you're heading into areas where viral contamination is more likely. Still, if your plan involves natural water sources, this one deserves a spot. Not perfect, but in a doomsday situation, definitely good enough to keep you alive. Now, calling this thing a wallet feels a bit misleading. It holds cards, sure, but it's really a mini survival kit in disguise. The Quiqlite TAQ Wallet feels more like something out of a spy movie, and honestly, it's a little bulky for a back pocket. But that extra space, it earns it. You've got a tough aluminum and steel frame, and inside that, it packs a bunch of tiny survival things. There's a built-in flashlight with adjustable brightness, a strobe mode for emergencies, plus a money clip, RFID blocking, and even basic tools like a bottle opener and glass breaker. And yeah, the light's rechargeable, which is great. Just remember to actually charge it. It's not the kind of thing that'll replace a full-blown multi-tool or flashlight, and carrying it feels a bit chunky compared to a slim wallet. But if you're someone who likes to have just-in-case tools built right into your everyday gear, this wallet makes sense. Think of it as low-key prepper gear. It doesn't scream survivalist, but when things take a turn and you're caught without your full kit, you'll be glad you had this on you. Now this thing? It's overkill in the best way. The Rhino USA survival shovel isn't just for digging little campfire pits. It's built like it's ready to battle a natural disaster, and it kind of is. But there's a bit of a learning curve, and it's not exactly featherweight either. Right out of the gate, the build feels tough. It folds down small but extends into a full-length digging tool that's surprisingly comfortable to swing around. You get sharp edges, saw teeth, a fire starter, a whistle, a bottle opener, you name it. It almost feels like too much, like one of those gadgets that tries to do everything and ends up doing some of it. Okay, but when you're dealing with emergencies, clearing debris, making a shelter, busting out of a jammed vehicle, it's the kind of tool you want to have, even if you don't need it every day. The weight is fair for what it does, though not ideal if you're trying to stay ultralight. Truth is, this thing's like the duct tape of tools. Overbuilt, multifunctional, and probably not what you'll grab first. But in the right situation, it could become the MVP of your entire pack. This tarp means business. It's not one of those flimsy plastic sheets you find in big box stores. The heavy-duty Defender feels like it could stop a storm in its tracks, but it also feels like you're hauling a weighted blanket, not a tarp. What you're getting here is real shelter, 20,000 mm waterproof rating, reinforced everything, and tie-outs everywhere so you can rig it exactly how you need it. Once it's up, it doesn't just keep the rain off. It creates a space that actually feels secure. And let's be real, during a crisis, feeling even a little secure can go a long way. That said, the size and weight aren't for everyone. If you're into ultralight setups, this'll feel like a brick. But for preppers who care more about strength and durability than shaving ounces, this is a shelter you can depend on. It'll take a beating, survive windstorms, and last way longer than those cheap tarps that fray after one season. The cost might sting a little up front, and the bulk means you won't forget it's in your pack. But when the sky opens up and everything else is soaked through, this tarp's going to be the one thing keeping you dry, and maybe keeping your spirits up too. Here's the thing. Fire starting isn't as easy as movies make it look. If you're cold, tired, and the wind's kicking up, flicking a lighter might not cut it. That's where something like the Uberleben Zunden really shows its value. Once you get the hang of it. At first glance, it's just a ferro rod with a wooden handle. Nothing fancy. But when you strike it, the sparks are wild, hot, bright, and reliable even when it's wet or freezing. You can drop this in water, pick it back up, and still get a fire going if you know what you're doing. The handle's comfy, the scraper works fine, and it's durable enough to last through thousands of strikes. But here's the rub. It's not totally beginner-friendly. If you haven't practiced with a ferro rod before, don't wait till an emergency to figure it out. You'll be sitting there striking and cursing while the cold creeps in. Still, once you've got the rhythm down, it becomes one of those tools that are actually helpful. Most folks don't think about radios anymore. But when your phone's dead, the grid's gone, and you're left guessing if that dark sky means rain or something worse. Having a NOAA radio suddenly feels very smart. The FosPower. A1 isn't high-tech by modern standards, but that's what makes it great. It's simple. You get weather alerts, news updates, emergency broadcasts, and most importantly, multiple ways to keep it powered. Crank it, solar charge it, toss in some batteries, whatever works. It won't last forever on one charge, but it'll keep you informed when nothing else does. It also packs a flashlight, a reading lamp, and even an SOS siren. Are any of those features the best of the best? Not really. But together, they make this radio a solid piece of survival gear. It's compact, easy to carry, and it won't break the bank. Sure, the reception isn't perfect in every area, and the crank charging takes effort. But in a doomsday scenario, knowing what's happening around you, what direction the storm's moving, where the danger zones are, that knowledge is priceless. There's something reassuring about holding a knife like the AC6. It's got weight, strength, and that kind of no-nonsense build you'd want when things are falling apart. This isn't some cheap folding knife that's going to snap under pressure. It's full tang, solid carbon steel, and honestly feels like it was made for tough situations. What really makes it stand out is the balance. It's heavy enough to chop through small branches, but still manageable for finer tasks like carving or slicing. The grip holds steady even when your hands are wet or freezing, and the sheath setup is reliable, not flashy, but it works when you need it to. Now, the carbon steel blade does come with a bit of extra responsibility. It'll rust if you're careless. It wants maintenance. You can't just toss it in a bag and forget it for a year. But in exchange, you're getting a blade that holds its edge, bites into wood like it means business, and doesn't flinch under pressure. It doesn't pretend to be clever or modern. It just shows up, does the job, and sticks around long after the plastic junk gives out. Now, if you're after something bigger and built strictly for rough, demanding work, then check out this Wright Overland Machete. It's not trying to be clever or flashy, just a straightforward, hard-use tool meant for the kind of jobs where smaller blades fall short. It's got that handmade edge, both literally and figuratively. With a 12-inch blade and carbon steel construction, it handles big chopping tasks without feeling like a burden in your hand. The grind's done right, too, convex, so the blade doesn't chip or roll easily. That matters when you're hacking through brush or putting in real work. It's not a toy machete. It's meant to get dirty. The Machete handle is shaped to stay put in your hand, even after hours of use. And it's all held together with the kind of precision that you just don't see in factory gear. Sure, it's heavier than the light, flimsy stuff, but that weight translates to power. Maintenance-wise, it needs a little care like any good carbon blade. It'll rust if neglected, but a bit of oil now and then keeps it healthy. For preppers who want a machete that holds up without compromise, this one fits the bill. Not flashy, not light. Just effective, durable, and made to last. This multi-tool wasn't designed for campers or casual hobbyists. It was made with serious tasks in mind. The Leatherman Mut carries a bit of attitude, and rightly so. It's packed with tools that serve one clear purpose: helping you stay functional when systems start failing. Right out of the sheath, you feel that solid stainless build. It's not a dainty multi-tool. There's a firearm punch, a carbon scraper, wire cutters, screwdrivers, a knife, a saw, each one made for people who actually rely on their gear. Nothing extra for show. Everything serves a role. One-handed operation is a nice touch, especially when your other hand's full or busy. And the parts that take the most abuse, like the wire cutters or scrapers, are replaceable. That's a smart design choice, especially for long-term use where you don't want to toss the whole tool just because one piece wore out. Of course, not every tool here is perfect for every job. Some functions are clearly specialized. If you're not into firearm maintenance, a few attachments might feel unnecessary, but even then, the build quality alone makes this a standout piece of kit. This mask doesn't mess around. The Mira Safety CM6M is one of those pieces of gear that you hope you'll never have to use, but it's not a cheap knockoff. It's built for real threats, not just dusty air or some gimmick-level smoke protection. Made from thick bromo-butyl rubber, it seals tight and keeps nasty stuff out, whether that's chemical exposure, biological particles, or full-on industrial accidents. It's got that panoramic visor, so you're not stuck with tunnel vision, and it actually lets you communicate clearly while wearing it. The speech diaphragm works better than expected, which really matters in a high-stress situation. There's even a built-in hydration system, which might sound like overkill until you've had to wear a mask like this for hours. It's also filter-compatible with standard NATO 40mm canisters, which gives you flexibility on sourcing replacements. Definitely not something to overlook. But there's the thing. If you're not clean-shaven, the seal's going to be compromised. Beards and gas masks just don't get along. And yeah, it's a bit of a commitment to store and maintain properly. So that was our video on the 10 Doomsday survival gear and gadgets preppers should have. Let us know your favorite pick in the comments section, as we'd love to hear from you. And as for everything else, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And hit the bell icon if you want more content like this on your feed.